Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another in the continuing series of SkySwitch webinars. I'm Andy Abramson, the Chief Marketing Officer for SkySwitch, and as our group is populating in the Zoom room, I want to welcome you all to the last webinar of the month of June. That's because today's June 30th. We'll be having a great webinar today, and I have to thank Erica Vasquez and Emily Vasquez, our marketing team at SkySwitch, for all the work they've done, along with Delaney Debkowski from Rev.io, who behind the scenes, the three of them really worked hard to pull off today. And we're going to be joined by Rev.io's Patrick Elliott, their VP of Marketing, along with our own William Brister. Many of you know William from SkySwitch University, but really he's our Vice President of Customer Success, and he's the guy who makes it easy for you to do so well because, like a good teacher, William gives you the right advice that you need based on all of his experience with SkySwitch and from before working in the telecom community. Today's webinar is one that I am very excited about. And I'm excited about it because it's all about how you get paid. Now, let's face it, none of us are in this from a charitable perspective. The whole idea of selling services to get paid, but in order to get paid, you need to have a really strong, powerful, yet easy to use billing system, especially with telecommunications, where so much is more than just simply a line item number. You've got taxation, you've got local regulatory fees, you've got minute charges, you've got seat charges, you've got many different elements that go into your monthly bill. So today, by asking the folks from Rev.io to join us, especially Patrick Elliott, the idea is for you to learn more about Rev.io, how it functions, why it's good for you, and most importantly, what problems it solves for telecom resellers. Now, we have a Q&A, and what we'd love for you to do is ask us some questions. So in the Zoom room, you can see a Q&A box. That's where your questions should go. And the reason it's important for you to be asking questions, well, that's how we pick who gets the prizes. And we've got some really cool prizes from our friends at Rev.io, and we might even toss in a little bit of SkySwitch swag too. Know that many of you like it. Today, it's great to have William Brister join us. William has been a godsend to so many resellers as well as the entire SkySwitch team. William, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. And you're so kind there, Andy. I appreciate that.
Well, you're one of the unsung heroes. I mean, a lot of times the sales guys get the credit, but once the sale gets done, you're the king of onboarding, and you really help our resellers. And I'm sure the resellers appreciate it, whether they tell you or not, because the unsung heroes, like in any sports team, are the guys who really keep it all together. So thank you for all your hard work. And from Rev.io, their VP of Marketing, Patrick Elliott. Good morning, Patrick.
Hey, good morning, Andy. Thanks so much for the introduction. Thanks for having us on today. Really appreciate it.
Well, we're really excited to have you. You're one of our true valued partners. And, I work with a lot of the different manufacturers and service providers and have conversations, but really enjoy the relationship we've built over the past year between Rev.io and SkySwitch. And Rev.io has become a pillar of SkySwitch's success model at working with resellers. So we're going to dive in, and really, before you get into this great presentation that you put together along with our team, why don't you give a little overview as to what's the biggest problem you think Rev.io solves for SkySwitch resellers and telecom resellers in general?
Certainly. The insight that we've drawn over talking to literally hundreds of providers over the years, as they talk about the challenges they're having with their business and why they're in fact considering a billing system like ours, either through a reseller, white label relationship, or direct, is the fact that as their business grows, there comes a point where what we would refer a legacy billing system becomes a handicap for scalable growth. Our system, we believe, the platform itself doesn't just remove the handicap to that growth. It in fact makes billing a tool to further grow their business. So if you think about it as the old, kind of curve leveling off, and where do efficiencies start to drop off? We think RevIO's system, particularly through this SkySwitch white label platform, can re-accelerate that curve upward.
Well, that's what you think. I'm going to go to the expert. William, do you think everything that Patrick's talking about has really been applied and is helping our resellers?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you said in the beginning, Andy, we're in this business to make money, and we're in this business to get paid, and billing is just a very important aspect of, every reseller's business. And Rev really provides that starting point, as well as a growth path for our resellers. We start with the reseller model, and then they can grow into a full instance of Rev. But even in the reseller model, they're able to do automated billing. Customers are able to access a billing portal, the bill center. So being able to bill your customers, being able to report your telecom taxes. I mean, it's just very important for a white label reseller to not have something that drags them down, that they can spend their time selling versus, trying to get their billing straightened out. So you just have to have a good billing platform in order to be a successful reseller.
Thanks, William. So what we want to do today is dive into the presentation, and I hope Patrick can give a quick overview of just what RevIO is all about and why they exist. Talk a little bit about the idea of billing as a service, or what I like to call cloud billing. I think everything's as a service these days as the world has moved towards the cloud. So cloud billing, and then let's also dive into the ways that you guys partner. So over to you, Patrick.
Certainly. Thanks, Andy. And they told me to go into marketing and not anything with software. So I need to ask this question. Can you all see my presentation?
Of course we can. It looks marvelous.
Excellent. Had a little hiccup there in the beginning, but we're all good here. So yeah, Andy, William, thanks for having me on today. On behalf of now nearly 80 employees at RevIO, this is a great opportunity to be on the webinar series today. For those of you in the SkySwitch reseller community on the line, thank you for your business. Thank you for trusting us with your billing. We have a lot of partnerships at RevIO. Unquestionably, one of the most important ones is with SkySwitch. We recognize really the sheer size and impact of the UCaas reseller community in the overall communications and technology marketplace in North America. And thus, our ability as RevIO to create a version of our billing and customer management software platform that is tailored to the specific needs and size of the reseller community remains very front of mind for us. Now, some of you on the line may already be using the white label billing powered by RevIO through SkySwitch, and we hope that today's session can give you some deeper insight into our company and our platform. For those of you on the line who may not be using billing through SkySwitch, we hope that this will be an informative session for you as you consider expanding your services to include billing, and we hope that we can answer some of the questions that you might have. So with that, let me go ahead and dive into our content. In my part of the discussion today, really what I want to do is just achieve three core goals. So firstly, I want to introduce RevIO as a company, who we are, why we exist, and really how we serve this fantastic advanced communications industry that we all love. I then want to explain what we mean by billing as a service, or that BaaS ecosystem, and show how that ecosystem is at the fingertips of clients and users of our software. And then, of course, explain really how we day-to-day partner with SkySwitch as an integral part of their premier white label UCaas platform, serving the reseller marketplace. Now, I hope after signing off this webinar that attendees will have the confidence in our expertise in the market and in how our system can help you all grow and scale your own reseller business in what is, of course, a very fast-changing environment.
Patrick,
yes.
For those who don't know about RevIO and haven't come across you at a conference or a trade show or through an introduction, can you spend a little bit of time and just give us some background about the company?
I certainly can. Let me jump ahead to our overview slide, and then I do want to make sure we get back and talk a little bit about our mission, vision, and values. So, fundamentally, Rev.io is a market-leading billing and back office software platform. Our platform is true software as a service. It's hosted in the cloud, which provides agility and flexibility for users. We partner with communications, IoT, and technology service providers to help them manage the billing associated with their recurring revenue or consumption-based business models. We're really focused on that core business. That's billing for recurring revenue streams. It is the most complicated aspect of billing in these industries, and we're completely focused really on being the best there. And of course, we've got our direct business, but we are, of course, an enabler of the success of SkySwitch's reseller community as well. We've been in a relationship with SkySwitch since 2014, nearly since the beginning of their business, and we've helped SkySwitch grow from 18 resellers to nearly 500 over a roughly 6-year time period of the partnership. It's been really exciting to watch you all at SkySwitch grow, see your customer list grow, and to partner with you over this time. A few key facts and figures about us. We were founded by Ross Overstreet in Pensacola, Florida in 2002. We were then known as the Over Group. Today, Ross is still our Chief Technology Officer, and with just a tremendous amount of experience in this industry. He's the visionary for our platform and where we want to take our technology as we move into the future. In 2013, we moved our offices, our headquarters up to Atlanta, Georgia, where the vast majority of our employees are now based today. Moving up here really allowed us to tap the great technical and business talent that's in this marketplace here. And we really think it's been a catalyst in helping us grow over the 7-year intervening time period. We've been able to grow our revenue 6x since 2013. And we do think that, location and space matters, and being in Atlanta has been a huge benefit for us. And today we serve nearly 150 direct clients. And our platform, of course, is white labeled by SkySwitch. We also have a couple other partners. So that's really allowed hundreds of resellers like those of you on the phone to access and benefit from it in an innovative way. We have about 75 full-time employees now. I think that number is actually a little old because we've hired a couple more people even since I made this slide. And in fact, we are still hiring right now. We're really proud because we've been among the very few, honestly, number of tech companies here in Atlanta that has really sustained hiring through this challenging economic period. We think that's a testament to the strength of our business, as well as the opportunity that we have as the advanced communications industry itself grows bigger and gains more importance. 2019 was a great year for us. We had 30% growth in our annualized recurring revenue. 95% of our revenue is from software as a service. It's, of course, a very powerful economic model. And finally, I'll mention that we've won multiple industry awards over the last several years, and I've highlighted just 3 of them here that we're really proud of. Firstly, we are a 6-time Inc. 5000 winner. Only 3% of all companies that have ever made it on to that very prestigious list have won it 6 or more times. And obviously we are gunning for number 7 this year. Secondly, we're a 3-time winner of the Great Places to Work Award, which is one of the premier workplace satisfaction surveys nationally. Our culture, which I'm going to touch on when I hop back to the previous slide, is really reflected by how our employees rate us, and it's allowed us to attract and keep great talent in this competitive marketplace. And most recently, we're proud to announce that we've won TMC's Unified Communications Product of the Year for 2020. The winners of that award represent the very best of unified communications providers and vendors like Rev.io that serve this industry. And then not pictured on this list actually is our most recent award. It was the Inno 50 on Fire for Atlanta, just announced a couple of weeks ago, which honored the most innovative tech companies here in Atlanta. So the market's recognized our success and the benefits that we bring to the marketplace, and we're very excited to have the chance to share this with you.
Well, it's great that you're an award-winning company. Congratulations on all of that
Thank you.
success. So why don't you dive a little bit in deeper and talk about the mission, vision, and values that Rev.io brings as a company?
Certainly, yeah, thank you. And we acknowledge that having this such a prominent place as we talk about who we are is a little bit different than what you might see from a lot of tech companies, but we think this is just so important and critical to share with people that are trying to learn a little bit more about who we are, because what you see on the screen here and what I'm going to walk through is just so integral to what if you will, what gets us out of bed every morning and what inspires us to serve this industry. So first is the mission, which is to help clients grow revenue efficiently. Now, this is a very simple phrase, but there's so much more behind it. We think that it really covers both sides of the equation for partners that are growing their business. So how do we help them earn more revenue through selling more services, launching new products, taking advantage of opportunities in the marketplace? But also, how do we help them stay efficient as they grow? How do we help them control costs, manage revenue leakage, allocate resources appropriately, and take advantage of the automation that's inherent in our system? So it's growth and efficiency together. That's what we're trying to support. The second part of this is our vision, which is to be the best billing and back office software company in the world by providing innovative solutions and extraordinary service to our clients and end users. That is a very bold mission, or bold vision, excuse me, but it's one we believe we can achieve through focus, developing and commercializing the best products, and bringing true strategic partners, being true strategic partners to our clients and end users of our system. And then, of course, staying ahead of the curve in an industry that changes very often and very fast. And then finally, we have our ACT Top values. ACT Top is an acronym for the 6 values that you see here, which are achieving extraordinary results, caring for employees, clients, and the community, take responsibility and act like an owner, transparent leadership, opportunity to make a positive difference, and passion for innovation. Now, we know that a lot of companies have their mission statements, right? They have the corporate values that they espouse. And we also know that there are, to say the least, varying degrees of success in making these part of a company culture. But for us, these values are not just wall art. They're a critical part of who we are as a company. And just to give you an example of how they fit into the culture, on both monthly and annual bases, we award selected employees who are nominated by their peers as ACT Top Award winners. The annual version of those awards, we actually designate for a calendar year period, the winner for each individual value. And winning these awards is a major source of pride and motivation for our employees. And we do, I think, a really great job of celebrating those winners when they are announced. So bottom line, I mean, a company has to understand what its purpose is. We are very clear in our purpose, who we are as Rev.io, what our focus is, what keeps us focused, motivated, and we think ultimately successful in the market.
Oh, that vision is certainly one that comes through. I mean, every time we interact with anyone from Rev.io on behalf of the SkySwitch team, we always get that real sense of caring and that unbridled passion for excellence. And I think you guys really have the right core values to help resellers succeed.
Thanks, Andy. We appreciate that.
Let me jump in there. Let me jump in there too. At SkySwitch, we've attended Rev.io Summit, every year for the last 5 years. So we get firsthand views there, spending time with the Rev.io team in Atlanta. This year is going to be a little different. Of course, it's different for the whole world as far as these conferences are concerned. But so we're going to probably miss seeing them in person. But I see their team and I see how they treat their employees, and I see this ACT Top stuff in action, every day really, but every time we're around them as well. When we visit their offices in Atlanta and attend their summit. So I totally agree and see this every time we get with them.
Thanks, William. Thanks, Andy. We really appreciate that kind endorsement of these values. Yeah, we make sure that we're living them. It's pretty much the first thing that as new employees come in the door, we talk about as we orient them to us, and we think it's paying off.
Well, it sounds like it sure is. I mean, without question, your growth and the growth of our own resellers on your platform is a demonstration of just how good the RevIO platform is. Can you take us through a little bit more about the whole idea of managed services across the communications industry and how RevIO is addressing those?
We certainly will. Yeah. The fundamental challenges of the marketplace are something that we're talking about with, um, clients, prospects, resellers, partners. I mean, we're thinking about them every day. And I mean, to take a step back really from the nature of how this market is evolving, I think just emphasizing we're so proud to serve the businesses that innovate and sell communications products and services for the business community in North America. I think we can all agree, given the circumstances of the last several months, the criticality of these technologies in literally keeping businesses and individuals connected. I personally, shudder to think about where our economy would be right now without the advanced communications industry. And RevIO employees' resolve has been hardened, knowing the importance of supporting clients and resellers across all these areas at this time. And we're so optimistic about the industry that we serve, because we think that even when the persistent challenge that we're in right now has passed us by, and look, life goes on, things ebb and flow, this will pass us, but the practices of remote connectivity and services associated with it are going to continue. And there's going to be opportunities for our companies, for the resellers on this webinar today and beyond, to be really successful in growing businesses together. That said, we don't underestimate the complexity of the industry. We're very cognizant about how fast it evolves and the fact that we need to stay innovative to best serve it. There are probably 1,001 ways to visually describe and show how the different products and services are proliferated in this industry. So what we've done here is really, if you think about it in the context of, the billing piece of it and how it applies to so many of these different product and service types. So on the left-hand side of this graphic, in the gray boxes, are the communication services. So unified communications as a service right there in the middle. We highlight connectivity, wireless, IoT, VoIP, cloud-hosted PBX, SD-WAN. And obviously that's not even the entirety of products that are on the market right now, but I think the idea is clear here. Resellers on the call, you'll be selling one or more of these things, some combination, as you go to market. Then on the right side is the fast growing managed services category. Could include service contracts, managed security, which is certainly growing in importance by the day, cloud applications, managing infrastructure. So what really ties all these products and services together is the fact that they generate very complex bills in the subscription-based selling model with metered-based usage of services. So really the theme that we capture here is the fact that all these different things are really converging into the overall marketplace that provides more opportunities, but again, more complexity. Now, importantly, RevIO has demonstrated a broad set of use cases in this converging marketplace because our system is not what we would call purpose-built. And what we mean by that is our founder, Ross Overstreet, saw early on in the post-dereg telecom era, change would happen fast in the industry. New ways to offer telecom and broadly communication services would come and go. And indeed, that has happened. And the reason we've been able to serve clients for 18 years and counting here is because we're not just a phone billing system. We're not just a VoIP billing system. We are, or we're not just a pure, services billing system. We really are affecting everything that you see on the screen here and beyond, in terms of rating it and billing it out of RevIO and indeed in the SkySwitch white label billing system powered by RevIO. Now, interestingly, our very first client back in 2002 was a small telecom provider in North Florida who was seeking help on managing the billing needs of, at that time, his fast-growing small telecom business. Now, the products that a company like his would offer have obviously evolved a lot over that time. The advanced communication space has changed, but the interesting thing is the challenges remain fundamentally the same. And the few key examples that we highlight here, again, we talk to, hundreds of people every year about the challenges they see in their businesses, and the themes just keep coming up over and over again. That's delays in delivering new offerings because of the challenge of scaling up a complex portfolio of products and services with different price points and different metering rates. Dealing with the inherent complexity in usage-based pricing models. We particularly hear this one a lot from new resellers who might be moving more towards a subscription-based offering as a share of their overall business. We're hearing that a lot lately. Got billing errors and subsequent revenue leakage. This becomes a problem for companies that have perhaps relied a little bit too much on a manual built or a less sophisticated billing system that simply just isn't built to handle scale, as I mentioned at the top of the call. High employee overhead and OpEx. Technology drives our businesses, but ultimately the people and the team members are the most important resource of a fast-growing business. And when you have a small business where only a few people are there, their work needs to be oriented towards the most strategic elements possible, not that work that is so routine driven and would benefit from automation. And then finally, it's the lack of integrated systems with associated manual tasks, the swivel chairing, the grinding step-by-step process to check data integrity, et cetera, all very challenging at scale. So ultimately, all these challenges boil up to that recurring revenue stream challenges and Rev.io being designed, again, irrespective of specific product mix from communications and services, but really attacking those fundamental challenges that apply to all of them.
So one of the things it would sound like is when Rev.io learns something in one industry, you're able to look at things and say, does this apply to others? And that helps with modernization and streamlining, but also it would allow for billers to be able to be taking advantage of something that was identified in another sector that's helped with either clarity or insight or just simply the ability to explain.
That's correct. Yeah. And it's an example really of how we think that we can be strategic partners for clients as they evolve their portfolios. If they sell one of these verticals you see here and they expand to 2 or 3 or 4, or again, this is not a comprehensive view of everything that providers could sell into the marketplace, but those insights and really the things that apply across the whole gamut of them are things that we can help them with.
What it really sounds like is you've got the whole enchilada, the complete platform.
That is indeed true, and I think the demonstration of that is captured quite elegantly in this visual here. So, Andy, I like what you said at the beginning of the call, where we all kind of chuckle about the as a service piece. So, it's important to just put it in the context of when we talk about billing as a service, it really is this platform idea. Rev.io is a platform company, and platform companies are being rewarded in the marketplace right now for the scale and scope of what they can do to support clients from an overall just supporting the different aspects of their business standpoint. I mean, those of Andy, your team, my team, we spend a lot of time in our CRMs. For us at Salesforce, a true platform kind of a service there for a marketing organization. So we aspire to have that same mentality. Obviously, it's kind of a different, functionality and view of something as large as Salesforce, but to the specific challenges that I enumerated on the previous slide, we've created a platform that can really address those, growing out of the core billing component that's illustrated here. So with billing as the center of this, we build our innovation around client and reseller needs to bill their clients effectively and efficiently, and then grow the platform out in several key areas. In this graphic, we have two columns here, and the kind of the middle column, that column A, I guess, which is underneath the SkySwitch and RevIO logos together. These are really the core components that are fully available to SkySwitch resellers as they tap the power of the white label billing platform within the overall UCaas umbrella of SkySwitch. So let me enumerate these one by one quickly here. So I'm actually going to start in the middle with usage rating. It's central to the power of our platform, the ability to rate usage for various subscription-based products in a high-velocity fashion. The RevIO system and ultimately the SkySwitch system for the audience here can import and rate various usage formats in a way that is very streamlined. The top of this column then is reporting, and we really think of reporting as business intelligence, critical for every department within an organization. So the resellers tapping this platform have the opportunity to leverage a long list of built-in reports within the system, as well as utilize an engine to build custom reports specific to what they want to see about their business. Next is payments. It's obviously impossible to disconnect the creation and processing of customer bills from the actual payment processing. So our system is connected to major merchant processors and allows resellers to set payment terms for individual customers in a very efficient fashion. Then jumping down to taxation, this is so critical to the platform. The tax regimes for telecom and connectivity services are proliferate. They seem to get more complex by the day. And our system has linkages to key tax databases from several leading providers in this space. And the robust amount of information that our system generates really streamlines the tax calculation process for users. And then lastly, there's collections, and specifically the part of the platform that speeds collections through automation, which drives down time to collect, reduces AR time, reduces AR overall dollars. That's really the last piece of this core element. And as we listen to the experiences of how our clients use RevIO and use the platform that underpins the SkySwitch platform, we estimate that about 80% of the time on the platform is within these billing plus 5 core functions here. And that's really, we think, a proxy for the value of the platform. And it's important. I want to make sure the audience on this presentation understands that, we're proud of the fact that we've been able to create a version of our really robust system that meets the specific needs of the resellers through SkySwitch's platform in such a fashion that's appropriate for size and scale, while still being a very powerful and useful tool for them. Now, quickly on the second column here, I'll just illustrate this to really drive home the point of the power of the platform. We examine a deeper look into the system, and we have things that really benefit clients that are working at a very large scale. Things like ticketing system to manage large base of needs for end customers, inventory tracking for unique assets, a workflow manager for multi-step workflows, commissions management, portals that we have for supporting agents and then large enterprise customers, and then for really kind of tech forward clients, the ability to develop integrations directly through our open API. Ultimately, all this comes together in such a way where for both direct and of course resellers, the key differentiators we think we have in this platform: simplified management of customer billing, the ability to consolidate multiple vendors into a single platform as RevIO. I mean, think about just if you had to deal with, 6, 8, 10, 12 vendors across all the components that are illustrated here, as opposed to just a single vendor. Full quote to cash capabilities illustrated throughout the billing cycle, a cloud-based solution that is secure, reliable, and scalable, and self-service tools for end users to comprehensively manage all the aspects of billing, compliance, and customer management. This is really what we illustrate here in terms of a comprehensive and powerful system that we offer to resellers and to direct clients.
Well, with that, it's really what makes you guys such a key part of the SkySwitch ecosystem. And when one thinks about ecosystem competency, one thinks about how businesses have grown, companies like Microsoft, Salesforce, they understand the idea of ecosystem competency in it that everybody wants to work with them. And when we look at RevIO, one of the real impressive aspects of having RevIO in our SkySwitch ecosystem is what I think is an even more impressive RevIO ecosystem.
Yeah,
Well, thank you. Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me
Go ahead,
jump
William.
in
Sorry.
here. Yeah, so, you know, I'm the VP of Customer Success, so I'm very much, my focus is on our resellers being successful. And when they're out competing against, say these larger companies, 8x8 or Ring Central, and they're having to present a bill, to customers, it's very important that they can present a professional bill. It's very important that they can present a bill and put usage rating on it, whether it's inbound toll free or outbound international or inbound to a conference bridge, whatever usage rating they want to put on the bill. If they want to offer 3 minutes plus overage, it's just very important that in order to compete in the market, that they're able to present a professional bill with the proper taxes and any kind of usage rating that they want to offer the customers, because they need to have that flexibility in order to compete. So Rev has just been a perfect partner for us because, our core business is not billing. Our core business is VoIP. It's hosted VoIP, it's SIP trunking, and that's where we need to focus in getting better and better and better. And so we needed a great billing partner that could help our resellers, provide them those capabilities in regard to billing, so they could compete. And so it's been a great partnership.
We appreciate that, William, and we think so too. And I really like what you said about, SkySwitch is a, UCaas VoIP SIP trunking company, and you guys are one of the market leaders in that area. And you're focused on that. You're focused on your core business. We feel the same way on the billing side. You're not a billing company. We are. And I hearken back to the vision that we have. I showed a little while ago to vision to be the best billing and back office software company in the world. And to that end, that's where we really focus our time, our efforts. Our roadmap items are ultimately how we create the best billing platform we can for clients and users and resellers. And I perhaps want to mention here just real briefly, I think it's a nice segue, because we understand that while we're thinking about billing, again, you start with a marketplace understanding and a challenge. And so much of our understanding is driven by the fact that, okay, we can solve so many problems through our platform, but we know that expertise in a lot of different areas is going to be held outside our four walls at RevIO, and we need to get into relationships with firms that are really the experts in areas that we can support, but are never going to be, the best in the world at, just because you can only do so many things great. A few examples that I'll capture here as I talk about our partner ecosystem. For me, taxation is still the number one on here in terms of just importance. As we talk to resellers, we talk to clients on the phone, it comes up pretty much in every conversation. Our system's connection with tax database partners, that are some of which are represented here, are so important to the engine. Compliance Solutions Inc., or CSI, right in the middle there. Wolters Kluwer, which is the provider of the SureTax database. Tax Connects is a partner that we've recently added to our partner marketplace that's a real expert in this area. It's going to continue to be so important, and figuring out the best ways for our system to integrate with these partners and be able to refer business and support on both sides of the fence will continue to be so important. William mentioned the importance of driving a really professional looking bill, and something that's reliable and on the par with some of the large players he mentioned before. Bill presentment is something on here that we partner with. We've got a couple of firms in OSG and Spandox that our clients use to effectively generate and present bills to their customers. I'll mention that we're part of the AT&T Partner Exchange, which everyone knows AT&T, obviously, and we've collaborated with them and been able to drive value for numerous mutual clients over the years. An interesting partner we have is Poly, which is the merger of Plantronics and Polycom. We've created some co-reference to each other. They have a new innovative, another as-a-service, device as-a-service program as they move towards more of a subscription-based model and create value for customers there, and more. I mean, the list goes on. It's too long really to capture in this discussion time here. But again, as we focus on being the best in what we do, we are really focused on maintaining this market-leading partner ecosystem and creating opportunities to create value for each other on behalf of the many mutual clients that we have. Let me kind of tie everything up here and really summarize the nature of where Rev.io fits with the SkySwitch platform on this final slide. I really love the visual symmetry of this slide because it shows really I think the completeness, if you will, of what our two companies focus on. And for SkySwitch, it's maintaining and building on their position as the premier white label UCaas platform. And for Rev.io, it's ensuring that we have the most complete quote-to-cash platform for use by resellers as they seek to have success on the SkySwitch platform. Now, William, I'll defer to you in a second as you look to expound upon the SkySwitch piece of this. But I really love the connection that we have as the billing platform that ties in with the rest of this UCaas platform, with the switch, the carrier network, real-time support, et cetera. SkySwitch, you've done a good job of enumerating here the core elements of the billing platform there on sort of the 2 o'clock of your radial. Bill center, quoting, payment processing, taxation. The full quote-to-cash platform that kind of grows out of that really does have everything, starting with accurate and comprehensive price books, including for wide product and service portfolios, the ability to create customizable proposals for end customers, and a very simple 2-step process to create new accounts, including, by the way, parent, child, and or multi-location accounts. And then, of course, billing, recurring models, including those with very complex usage rating, with those high-velocity rating capabilities to support more complexity and fast scale. I mentioned the importance of tax management several times, a key part of our system through integrations to tax databases. Then being able to actually create and distribute the bills to customers, integrating with major merchant platforms to process payments from customers, and then automated collections to support getting paid faster and lowering AR time. So, I mean, we think, again, a very clear and elegant way to show the full continuum of support that our system has through SkySwitch's white label UCaas platform that you all offer to your reseller community.
William, you've been talking to a lot of the resellers over the past before Rev.io. Can you give just a quick overview of what life was like before Rev.io for some of them and what life is now like for the resellers using Rev.io?
I was just answering the chat question there. Can you say that one more time, Andy?
Can you give a quick overview of what life was like for resellers before Rev.io came onto the scene and what it's like now for the resellers who've embraced and adopted Rev.io as their billing platform?
Sure. So, as Patrick mentioned, we've been working with Rev.io from the very beginning. I mean, in 2014, 2015. It was the initial billing platform. There's really not much before because it was, the platform that we chose from the beginning. And it was just great that they had such a great rock solid platform from the beginning. What I mean by that is just the ability to do your monthly recurring, adding any non-recurring charges you need, doing the taxation, doing any kind of usage rating, that we needed, providing a billing portal for the customers, so doing the payments and then doing the reporting, which, ties it all up. But what I would say is that Rev has continued to grow and we've grown with them and we've had resellers. I have resellers literally that have customers that have been billing on Rev for 5 years. And it's a host of customers. And so as you can imagine, we're billing, tens of thousands of customers on the Rev platform across many resellers, millions and millions of dollars. And I like to say that if it wasn't done properly, if our resellers could not get paid, they'd string me up in the nearest tree they could find. So it's been nice having, great actually having Rev, because once it's set up, once you learn it, it's just rock solid. It just runs every day, every week, every month, and on the flip side, also, like I said, billing is not our core business, and we've had resellers that have grown from the reseller model into the full version of Rev, and that's what we would love to see that, because it means our resellers are growing, they're selling more VoIP, and that's what we want to see, the success we want to see in our resellers. So I hope I'm hitting the points there, Andy. You can.
Well, William, that's exactly what I was hoping you would say. And in a lot of ways, what you've said reminds me of Maytag, the old Maytag repairman. That the stuff just works, and that makes people happy. And there's not a lot of care and feeding that's necessary, because the folks at RevIO have done such a good job at just thinking through how their platform works, and resellers are able to take advantage of it. Before we dive in any questions, I want to go back to Patrick. Is there anything, Patrick, you think you wanted to go a little deeper in, or anything that you didn't cover that would be of interest to our resellers?
Thanks, Andy. I think I would just, kind of tie it up to just really reemphasize our commitment to resellers through this partnership with SkySwitch. And we're really happy to serve this community, knowing the importance to the overall, advanced communications industry, and so many more players entering it and looking to resell. And, this efficient way that we can reach this marketplace through the SkySwitch partnership is something that we're going to continue to be focused on really for the years to come. And we're excited to see what future steps are going to happen in this partnership. And again, I thanks on behalf of RevIO to those of you who are using the platform, and hoping this was an informative session for you. This has been an informative session for you.
This has been great. We have one question. Guys, if you have questions, now's the time to ask them in our Q&A. It comes from Brian Kiefer, and Brian wants to know, and I'll throw this at William, do most resellers add a fee to their bill in order to recover the RevIO fees? And, William, maybe you can give everybody who's listening live and listening to the replay, or what we call webinar rewind, just how that if that can be done, and how we help people do that.
Yeah, sure. So the FCC gives a VoIP reseller permission to collect what is called a regulatory recovery fee. It's funny, not too long ago, maybe a year or so ago, the FCC started collecting their own recovery fee, and it's called an FCC recovery fee. And the taxes on telecom bills are just crazy, but they give you the permission to collect funds from the customer to recover some of the costs it takes to bill your customers, to collect the taxes, to remit those taxes. They understand that it's going to cost you, to do those things. And so they allow you to add a regulatory recovery fee. Now, in the beginning with Rev, we had to do it manually, but now we can actually set a percentage, and we put it in the system, and it automatically shows up in your taxes and surcharges section of your bill. So if you weren't aware of that, yes, we can do that now. You can actually call it whatever you want. Regulatory recovery fee is typical, but I've had resellers call it, network access fee, telecom recovery fee. You actually can name it whatever you want, and it'll show up in the tax and surcharge section of the bill, and you collect that percentage. And a typical percentage we see anywhere from 2 to maybe 7%. Okay. And now I do always recommend that you have that discussion with a telecom tax expert as to, what percentage you should charge. But that, I'm just giving you kind of the average of what we see across our resellers. But yeah, so you can collect, some of these funds to help cover your costs, and that really helps pay for the billing platform as well as, billing personnel and just having to, pay a tax expert to, to work with to remit your taxes, et cetera. So, yeah, we can do that, and just reach out to us and we can help you set that up.
Well, that's great, because what that gives our service provider resellers the ability to not lose money at all. And they can actually, at least break even, or maybe make a little profit on billing. We don't have any questions today other than that one from Brian, which means Patrick and William, you guys did a great job. Otherwise, normally we'll have 15, 20 questions lined up, but the presentation was so clean and so concise that no one's asking any questions. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about next week before we wrap up. Next week, we're going to have a really interesting webinar on Tuesday at 11 a.m. on July 7th. It's all about SkySwitch's Cam Command solution and how you as a reseller can create a cloud video sales strategy. Our video surveillance as a service specialist, video securities as a service specialist, Justin Baker, will be taking a deeper dive than ever before into how Cam Command works and the benefits that the solution offers you and your customers so that you can create effective cloud video sales strategies and, more importantly, cloud video sales solutions for customers. I'm really excited about this because the whole world of cloud premise-based monitoring is really important, especially now where so many businesses are having more people work from home. They don't have as many people in the office. They don't have as many people coming to the door. So you need to be able to protect and watch over what's going on, or even some houses now, because think about it, everybody's working from home and you've got all kinds of people showing up at your door from time to time. So that webinar is going to be held next Tuesday, July 7th at 11 a.m. Justin and I will be going through this. We'll have some SkySwitch swag to give away to some lucky people who ask us questions. And then, of course, we'll help you learn more about the whole idea of Cam Command as a solution for you. I want to thank Patrick and the entire team at RevIO. I want to also thank Emily, Eric, and of course, our own William Brister. No wonder our resellers are so successful. It's all because of the care and helpfulness that William provides. So thank you, William, again for joining. We're going to get out of here a little bit early. Thank you all for joining. And because this is a short week, those of you who are going to celebrate July 4th, have a great 3-day holiday weekend from all of us at SkySwitch.